I am Kat. This video is inspired by Mike's Mike, but I am nowhere near as entertaining. But like many 2000s girlies, I was obsessed with the brand that was Mary-Kate and Ashley. I totally get why they're not in showbiz anymore. Now we have their sisters' work to obsess over. But in the 2000s and I guess the early 90s, I ate up everything that they gave to us. And yes, I am more 2000s than 90s. I was born in 95. But I wanted to be these girls so much. Their movies and TV shows were my life. They are iconic and I have thoughts on them. And as an Australian, I especially have thoughts on Our Lips Are Sealed. I had never been to Sydney when I first saw this movie. I think I was 19 the first time I ever went up there. The experience I was made to believe of Sydney was that it was beach parties all the time and great weather all the time. What I've experienced is confusing AF roads and most of the time actually bushfire smells while I'm there. But onto the movie deep dive. Here is the synopsis from IMDb, typos and all. A family is relocated by FBI after the twin sisters stop a diamond thief with ketchup. They are blabbermouths, so as last chance they end up in Sydney, Australia. Two mobsters are sent there for them and the hidden diamond. Someone didn't copy edit it. But the whole concept of the movie is wild. Like they are being hunted by the mafia. If this movie had not been G, could have gone an entirely wild different direction. Within the wider Mary-Kate and Ashley timeline, Our Lips Are Sealed sits in between Switching Goals and Winning London. Warner Brothers, HBO Max and Disney Channel have all distributed this movie. So why is it not available on any streaming service or available for digital download? Huge missed opportunity here. I had the worst time trying to track this down. This movie is directed by Craig Shapiro, who directed Winning London and The Challenge as well. Mary-Kate plays Maddie and Ashley plays Abby. This one is easy to remember because Mary-Kate, Maddie, Ashley, Abby. In general, Mary-Kate would usually play the more like laid back one and Ashley would play the more uptight one. Mary-Kate's words, not mine. Here's proof from the New York Minute behind the scenes.
Usually Ashley plays the uptight one and I play the laid back one.
But in this movie, their characters had the same personality. They were the same person. There's no difference. You can only tell them apart by their slightly different hairstyles. Okay, the parents. The dad is played by Jim Meskimen, who you might know as Dr. Houlihan from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Doctor from Victorious. The mum is played by Tamara Clatterbuck, who has been in 113 episodes of The Young and the Restless and 85 episodes of The Days of Our Lives. Our bad guys, the leader of the mafia, is played by Robert Miano, who has been in a lot of things that sound like mafia movies. And the 2000s Dungeons and Dragons movie. This is how I found out there is one that exists. The Minions. We've got Mac, who is played by Jason Clarke, who was apparently in Oppenheimer. I don't know. I didn't see it. I saw Barbie instead. He was in 6 episodes of Home and Away, 1 episode of The Bill, 2 of All Saints, and 4 of Blue Heelers. That's right. We've got our first American played by an Aussie. And our other minion, Sydney. Yep, they went there. Was Richard Carter, who's been in Mad Max Fury Road, Happy Feet, Hating Alice and Ashley, Rabbit Proof Fence, 4 episodes of Blue Heelers, 1 episode of The Bill, and 1 episode of All Saints. That's right, another Aussie. The FBI agents, we have Ernie Hudson Jr., who doesn't seem to do a lot of acting anymore, but is the son of this iconic Ernie Hudson. And the other FBI agent is the iconic Willie Garson. Now onto our Australian characters. Katie is Jo Phillips. According to IMDb, this was her last acting gig, and I can't find anything else about her online. Shelby is Harold Hopkins. You ready? 2 episodes of All Saints, 1 episode of Home and Away, 1 episode of McLeod's Daughters, 1 episode of Blue Heelers. You sensing a theme here? Australia doesn't have a lot of TV shows, so everybody just works on the same ones. He was also in the 80s version of Gallipoli. We had to watch that too many times in school. I can't stand it. Our love interests, Pete and Avery. Pete is played by Ryan Clark, who is in 615 episodes of Home and Away. Editing Cat here. I didn't know this because it wasn't on his IMDb page, but I only just found out while trying to find pictures of him that he's also a Bondi Rescue lifeguard. So that's where you can see him these days. And then Avery is played by Scott Swalwell, who was in 4 episodes of Home and Away and 1 episode of All Saints. I'm not going to go into all the other kids, but Donnie was Matt in Blue Water High. And a note on IMDb says, it is not known who played the narrator and the actor is not credited in the end credits, and to this day, the actor's identity remains a mystery. I couldn't find it online. It really is a mystery. But did anyone think about asking anyone who worked on the movie? But there's literally not a lot online about this movie. Though during my Googling, I did come across this amazing website. We'll come back to it later. If you're still here, it's time to go through the movie. And yes, I know that this cardigan has absolutely no relevance to the movie at all, but it just arrived and I wanted to wear it. The movie gives you an immediate jump scare from this poppy intro into
in every society, there are those evildoers.
You're instantly thrown. There's a narrator. It's in black and white. Where are Mary-Kate and Ashley? Did you put on the correct movie? This is the first layer of the movie. We then find the Parker sisters and fade into color. But it's a dream. That is the second layer of the movie. They wake up and we are finally in the real world. The third layer of the movie. We're like 3 minutes in at this point. Meta. We then get this clip.
Great dream, wasn't it?
Are they sharing dreams? Is this a twin thing they can do? Or is it witchcraft? Are they from the Gemini Coven? I think there's a bigger mystery here than the diamond. In the kitchen, the dad is heading out for the day and the mum says,
I just hate the thought of you out there on the streets.
man, he is a mailman. But who knows, maybe if he worked for Ozpost, they'd actually be better at their job. But the comedy in this movie, I mean, what even? He heads outside and is immediately attacked by a small dog. The streets out here are rough. The next part here should be an ad for these hairdryers. They have a fight with the hairdryers and it blows their hair up and their hair stays with that volume like all day. These are some serious hair dryers. Or is it witchcraft? So first we get this.
Look, there's Brad Pitt!
Why would Brad Pitt be in their house? And then we get this.
That was so close. Here's a tissue.
These girls just really aren't the brightest. No wonder the premise of the movie works. We then cut to after school and their hair is magically fixed. If they could do that the whole time, wouldn't have they fixed their hair before cheerleading tryouts? Not the brightest.
You're not very pretty, and you're not very bright.
And then everyone from school is pissed that they ruined the pyramid and hurt was it the captain? Because they are chased down by a mob. That is an intense school. But you know who also gets hunted down by mobs? Witches. They have this brilliant idea to disguise themselves, and they do it by putting paper bags over their heads. This movie is so much more outlandish than I remember. Like, what even? Just go home. And then there's a gag that proves this movie really is 24 years old. Because there's a gun gag. The girls squirt ketchup. Yes, I'm saying ketchup for you Americans, even though it should be tomato sauce. At the guy who is stealing the diamond, and at the same time, a balloon pops in the area, and the guy thinks he's actually been hit. Wow, that would not fly today. But as a side note, the diamond, which ends up in one of the girls' backpacks, is called the Neil Diamond, as in Neil Diamond. And then for the first time, the girls talk to us, the viewers. They break the fourth wall to talk to us.
How some days are just like any old day and others change your life forever?
How did they do that? Witches? They head to court to testify against the guy who stole the diamond, and this whole zit gag. Ew. Why? No. And once again, the twins talk directly to us, and this time They freeze time to do it.
Okay. Now this would have been a very happy ending.
They are aware they are in a movie. Are they the ones controlling this? Witches. The crime family that they are testifying against is from a country in Europe called...
You're ugly.
Wow. And the head of this crime family, his name is Neil Hachu. But he threatens to hunt the girls down. Which brings us to the FBI and the Witness Protection Program. I already feel bad for these agents. Girls are informed that they never have to go back to their school, and it's party time. They magic up a marching band in the FBI office. Where did they come from? Witches. And the poor FBI agent has this iconic line.
Keep your mouths shut.
It's the one thing the girls can't do. And then they talk to us again.
Okay. You know this whole keep our mouths shut thing?
Witches. Now it's montage time. We see them moved around the US many times. They can't keep their mouths shut. They break cover every time. We've got Texas, as shown here by the fact that they wore cowboy hats in class. Seattle, with the beanies in the cafe. Pennsylvania, where they are sent to the Amish. The FBI was already so done with them by this point, and this is only their third relocation. I mean, I would have dropped them by now. There's not many notes about this movie on IMDb, but someone was pressed enough about the inaccuracies of this Amish segment that they had to write about it. So here's the 2 notes this person has put on the IMDb listing. The girls wear white capes with their Amish garb, which in the Amish community denote that they are married. They should be wearing black capes, which indicate that they are single. When the girls are sent to live with the Amish in Lancaster County, they are in all correct Amish garb, except they have their hair hanging out. Amish girls must always wear their hair in caps. The more you know. We continue our road trip around the US. We have Chicago, Florida, Hawaii. They messed that one up. Alaska. We get this time lapse of marks on the map, and they move them at least 160 more times. I counted. You think this would be over, but it just keeps going. The montage continues, and you see just how much this family is ruining this FBI agent's life. They lead him to a complete mental breakdown. Poor dude. So Willie Garson's in charge now.
We're sending you to the last place on the planet. A port so remote that no person would presume to pinpoint your position.
I swear every time we come here we be basic tourists because we are hearing it.
If you screw it up this time, you'll be pulled from the program. Permanently!
Personally, I would have pulled them like 160 places ago. But since we're doing this, I would have sent them to like Perth or Darwin. You know, someplace that would be the actual last place somebody would look. Not the most popular tourist destination in Australia, which is also the most populous capital city in Australia. Qantas product placement. Qantas, if you want to sponsor me, I wouldn't say no.
Australia was like one big party.
Where? The family becomes the innkeepers of the Salvation Shore Inn, and they never get a single booking. A clean, nice-looking beachside hotel in the most popular tourist destination in Australia, and they never get a single booking. Something doesn't add up. We then meet our supporting Aussie characters. We've got Katie, who is the classic Aussie chick who is always in swimwear. Shelby, who is your classic ochre bloke. And Boomer, the pet kangaroo. They're pet kangaroo in a heavily populated beachside Sydney suburb. I also checked, and it is illegal to have a pet kangaroo in New South Wales. So how did they come into possession of this kangaroo? Did the FBI break Australian law to give them it? Did they choose to keep the roo themselves? How did no one dob them in for illegally keeping this kangaroo? Is it part of their elaborate witchcraft around this movie?
We should probably skip cheerleading tryouts.
Did the FBI give them no information on Australia? Actually, they probably didn't because they were completely over them and they just wanted to get them out of there as soon as possible. But once again, Americans assuming that the entire world is just like them. No, cheerleading is not a thing in Australian schools. If it was, I would have been one. Or well, I would have tried out and not gone onto the squad because I can't even do a somersault. But they then rock up to school in their best Crocodile Dundee outfits. Did they not get a welcome pack from the school? Hell, you know, the family's not the brightest, so they probably did and then didn't read it. But this school, like the majority of Australian schools, has a school uniform. And they're not wearing it. They are the only ones not wearing the uniform. But that's not even the strangest thing about the school. The strangest thing is that we never see the school again. I don't even think they mentioned school for the rest of the movie. So did they rock up on the last day of school before school holidays? What month does this movie take place in? What is the timeline? Like, I know the weather's pretty good in Sydney, but they do have winter. So it's definitely not taking place within like the middle of the year. There's no Christmas decorations anywhere, so I'm assuming it's not happening during the summer school holidays. So I'm gonna say that this is taking place in the September-October school holidays. But like, why only one day of school? Last costume change, I swear. Then the girls break the fourth wall to ask for subtitles. Who are they asking? How are they asking? They stopped time to do this, witches. But they've met Sheila.
The name's Sheila.
And I was very confused for a second because I don't think I've ever actually met an Australian woman named Sheila, because it just means woman. But then a little later on, we meet Sheila's friends, the Sheilas.
This is Sheila. And this is Sheila. And this is Erica. But my friends call me Sheila.
Yeah. Surfers pop up and somehow they are the outcasts. The surfer boys are not popular. Huh? They are the most classic Aussie boys, and at least one of them is rich. So why are they not popular? Back at home, the mum was about to call her friends in the US. What type of money does this family have? An international phone call from a landline in 2000. Was she expecting the FBI to pay for it? And then she almost gave me a heart attack. She threw her lit cigarette out the window. Why? She's lucky it only set the bin on fire, which I get is the joke, but holy fuck, that's how bushfires start. This ended up so close to being a disaster movie. On the boat, Shelby's drinking a VB. At least they got one thing right. Now, I was 5 in 2000, so someone let me know. Was white people playing with boomerangs on the beach a common occurrence back then? Cause like, I don't see anyone doing that. And for anyone outside of Australia who doesn't know, a boomerang is an Aboriginal hunting tool. But then Maddie picks it up, throws it, and is somehow immediately perfect at it. Sure jam. Then the girls enact a plan to gain the respect of the Aussies. It goes like this. Step 1, speak the lingo. They go hard on it.
Some tucker, but me brekkie had chicken snacks. Well, I don't like to whinge, but I said, bring on me damper and hot chalky.
Step 2, eat the local grub.
No yank has ever eaten Vegemite without tossing their cookie.
That is clearly not Vegemite. Go back and do it for real. It's not that hard. I want a redo. Someone go tell the Olsons they gotta do it. Editing Cat. I discovered while watching these clips back, while editing, they are wearing their school uniforms while they are trying to impress the cool kids. So they do go back to school, but they don't do any learning. They just do some really weird stuff. Step 3, catch a wave. How long have you known how to surf?
Since it's seen, apparently.
She is aware of the script and she changed it to suit her needs. Which? And step 4, use your head. This is the one that wins the popular girl over? Rightio. Back in the States, someone is creeping around FBI headquarters to try and find the twins' file. Whoever put this file together is iconic, because look at it. He gets no information from it. So whoever that agent was, good work. However, Willie Garson, you didn't clean the map? Because the mafia guy looks at it, and even though Australia is fully circled, he immediately knows they've been sent to Sydney. This is why you should have sent them to, like, Cooper Pedy. The mafia is scraping the barrel of who's available to go on this job, so they send Sydney to Sydney. And Qantas product placement again. There is a bunch of moments in this movie that make you go, wow, this is so early 2000s. And the moment with the GPS is one of them. Sydney is baffled by it, and Mac calls
my global positioning system.
He says the whole damn thing. And he paid
$1,000!
Excuse me? Bless phones that have them built in now. And let's give it up to the editing department for this fabulous car roll. Vic, the popular girl, has a yacht and a jet. Damn rich Sydney-siders. And the girls once again reference that they are in a movie.
No spit takes in this movie.
Witches. And then they Titanic it on Sydney Harbour. I would take a bet that Sydney Sweeney has seen this movie.
What the heck is that? I'm checking my email. It's a wireless internet connection.
Do we reckon his character, like, stayed up to date with all the latest technology? Like, he's getting all the new stuff and, you know, has, like, an iPhone. What number is it up to now? 16? Or do you reckon, like, he got so stuck in his ways, like, he paid $1,000 for a GPS, so he's like, I've got to get my money's worth out of this. We see this iconic bus stop, and the minions are lost in Sydney for 5 days. That is the most accurate thing that could happen in Sydney. The girls get a clapper light, and did clapper lights have a chokehold on anyone else in the 2000s? I wanted one so badly. And I never got one. Turns out the minions had been walking in the opposite direction to Sydney for 5 days. They had been walking inland, and now they show up at a local country pub.
Dog's eye, dead horse and pig's ear.
Mate speaks like my dad. And the "you're ugly" joke finally paid off.
Where you from?
You're ugly.
Come again, mate?
I said, you're ugly. Would you like me to spell it for you?
Maddie talks to the audience again.
You know how I said there are going to be no spit takes in this movie?
Which, we have a new product placement this time with the Telstra phone box. And it's lunchtime, and they have shark casserole. Ew. This scene where the girls are paranoid that everybody they walk past is out to get them gave me so much anxiety as a kid.
You're freaking me out. 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 Freaking me out. You're freaking me out.
Kinda still does. It even goes black and white. Avery's dad owns Luna Park.
It's closed.
Not for us. Avery's dad owns the place.
And they just casually get the keys from him and show up. They run the rides all by themselves. Like they run the roller coaster. That can't be saved. Or H&S be damned. No wonder it's up for sale now. Avery's dad is just letting teenagers waltz in and run rides willy-nilly. So this roller coaster would be safer than the Melbourne one. Yes, Melbourne has a Luna Park too. And the Melbourne Luna Park is 20 years older than the Sydney Luna Park, which is evident by the fact that the Sydney roller coaster is made out of metal and the Melbourne roller coaster is made out of wood. It's wild. Someone has to stand in the middle of the roller coaster and control it. I went on Halloween and the person controlling it was dressed up as a witch too. So like hat and cape flying and... Anyway, a cover of 99 Red Balloons is playing over all of this. What a banger. And then the mum throws another cigarette out the window. And this time, the kangaroo puts it out. He knows the danger of bushfires, but then the poor Roo gets blamed for messing up the girl's bedroom. And couldn't have been anyone from the mafia who's out to get us, is the reason we're in witness protection program. It'd have to be the Roo.
This is the part of the movie where we feel really guilty for all the trouble we've caused. I feel really guilty for all the trouble we've caused.
Witches. The parents go on a camping trip and get in the wrong side of the car. This confused me so much as a kid, but I get it now. American cars are opposite because they drive on the wrong side of the road. While the parents are away, the girls head to a yacht party, and I was obsessed with these dresses as a kid. Still kind of am.
Can I hear a little commotion for the dress?
Dance party time, and this is the first time that the other characters show us that they are aware that they are in a movie.
Why did the crocodile cross the road? Like I care.
They all stop the scene to say something funny.
Something funny.
Are they truly aware, or is Mary-Kate and Ashley controlling them like their sister once did an entire town in New Jersey?
If I catch you on our beach again, or anywhere near us, I'll...
Babes, that's Manly Beach. It's a public beach, and it's a very popular tourist destination. Calm down.
Tomorrow's Saturday.
So is all of this drama happening after school? Because saying tomorrow's Saturday kind of implies that you've been busy at school during the week. But then they also just decide to climb Sydney Harbour Bridge the day before. Were there even tickets available for a Saturday, no less? And did Avery's Rich Luna Park owning dad buy them then? Like, I know it's 2000, but that shit ain't cheap. But pro tip, if you go in summer and do the climb, book the earliest nighttime one. Because it actually starts during sunset, but is cheaper than the sunset one.
I got a license to kill.
So, I have a learner's permit.
Iconic. But girl, you're 14. You straight up lied to that man's face. Now, this chase scene, they disappear behind the trees. Witches.
When did you learn how to drive?
Since you've seen, apparently.
Yep, okay, he knows he's in a movie. But dude, again, you're 14. This is highly illegal. It's not like you're driving around back roads in a country town. Like, this is the middle of the city. Then it's time for the Home Alone section of this movie. Set up an elaborate trap to catch the minions and then tie them to these surfboards with a singular piece of rope. You're telling me they couldn't have gotten out of this? Torture by makeover happens, but then the minions draw the line at bikinis.
Yes.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. Don't. Not that. No.
Yeah.
No, don't.
What was the plan here? Like, if they didn't break, were the girls going to undress these men themselves? Or were they going to use their magic of controlling this movie to just magically put the bikinis on them?
This is a long distance call.
Hachu knows the price of an international phone call.
Hachu? Now, don't be mad, but I've got both your men tied to surfboards.
Don't say it.
Nothing like the confidence of an American teenage girl with something to prove.
I recommend Qantas. It's a long flight.
They get in that bag. The bad guy minions are just really just entrepreneurs.
Well, actually, I'm starting up an internet business.
Again with the internet?
It seems like you guys should just play to your strengths. Like you're bad guys? Duh. So why not badguys.com?
Vic shows up and springs the rest of the traps, and I kind of feel bad for her.
Otherwise, you'll throw our bums on the barbie and have us for brekkie. I have no idea where that came from.
It really doesn't take long to acclimatise to Australia. Hell, you take 3 Aussies, put them in the UK, and the one Brit person will start sounding more Aussie. They let the minions go, and then they start rowing off into the harbour. Like, dudes, you flew in. Where are they going? Like, get on the train. Yes, I checked, and the train line to the airport was built in 2000. But it also took this long into scripting this video to realise that this is Sydney in the year 2000. Where the hell are the Olympians? Back in the US, Agent Banner is back to work and ready to go. And then his beeper immediately goes off.
That's it! I quit! I'm out of here!
Hope that wasn't important.
Poor dude. Anyway, he quits.
I beeped Agent Banner, left a message. The FBI should be here within hours.
Like minimum 13 hours if they were already sitting on a plane at LAX. Longer if they were coming from literally anywhere else in the US. Like, girlies, you needed to beep them 2 days ago. And then it's time for the surfing competition to see who can control Manly Beach. The Posse versus the Surfers. The Posse had some real confidence going into the Surfers on a surfing competition. They're like, they do get it at the end. We see this news reporter, and it is a fake news reporter.
Reporting for the Surf Channel. Here we are today live at Manly Beach, where stakes are high.
Turns out he just does that thing where we pretend we're like interviewing or being interviewed and talking to a camera, but he does that in public. In 5 years, this guy's gonna love the invention of YouTube. But also, who is the interviewer looking at? Is he also aware that he is in a movie? Or is he co-opting it and taking control of it himself? Because the camera was following him. And he was looking right at it. Warlock? The call with Hachu was on Saturday Arvo. He rocks up on Manly Beach Sunday morning. That is some incredible flight time. Or is it witchcraft? Insert surfing montage. I'm from Adelaide and Melbourne. We really don't do that here. Jack, one of the surfers, has to pull out of the competition because he's hurt his widgie.
My widgie. I bent my widgie.
It's his finger.
Widgie. Me poor widgie.
They managed to put a dick joke in this rated G movie.
Turn them into shark bait.
Shark bait!
Our minions reappear. Honestly, how long did it take them to realize that they couldn't get out on the rowboat and just came back? But we get another iconic line.
What are you guys doing here?
We're wondering if you could touch up our nails. I seem to have broke mine.
The boomerang finally gets used for its intended purpose. There's some didgeridoo playing in the background, but also, like, I haven't seen a single Aboriginal person in this entire movie. Plot twist, the classic Aussie chick Katie, she's American.
Agent Catherine Smith, FBI, at your service.
She could have been helping this entire time. So, like, she chose not to run the minions through a database to find out their connection to Hachu. And dance party finish. The mom sets the bin on fire again, so thank God they are leaving the country because I don't think we'd be able to handle it after they set another bushfire. The girls talk to us, the audience, again. So, like, really, was this like a doco, or have they been WandaVisioning it the entire time? And then we go back to the FBI video and have a wrap-up montage.
And so ends one of the most unusual cases in the history of the Federal Witness Protection Program.
The credits roll and we get these classic 2000 movie bloopers.
Liberate those bunches. Destroy those drongos. Demolish!
So I put on me jumper and hold him to some turkey.
Yeah. And in the credits, we see that the phones were supplied by Optus. How awkward for them is it that Telstra was the one featured in the movie? And that's it. We made it to the end of the movie. At the beginning of this movie, I promised that we'd come back to this incredible website. During research, I was trying to find literally any information on this movie. And thank God for Wayback Machine. I kind of miss when websites had characters. They're all like boring now. But let's go through this website together. Oh! There was a kangaroo jumping sound. So this is, yeah, MaryKateandAshley.com. So this is a screen capture from 2008, actually. It says February 2, 2008. So I guess it never got updated since. You can see that they're promoting the DVD. I had this on VHS and DVD because they had the VHSs first and then changed to the DVD. Okay, let's go to the Aussie page. We've got fun facts about Australia. 6 states and 2 territories. Yep, they remembered the word territory. Over 85% of people in Australia live in a city. It's probably more than that now. Australia is the smallest, flattest inhabited continent in the world. It is pretty flat. Over 18.6 million people live here. It's like 28 million now. Damn. Capital of Australia is Canberra. Woo! Like, not wool for Canberra, but wool for getting it right. Sydney is not the capital of Australia, okay? It's Canberra. Canberra is in the Australian Capital Territory. Australia has the largest coral reef, the Great Barrier Reef, which is dying. So who knows how much longer we'll have any of it left. Australia was settled as a British penal colony, which means they sent prisoners there. Except to South Australia, there were no convicts sent to South Australia. Test your Aussie slang. Well, I can see the answers. Happy as Larry. Is that not common anywhere else? A jaffle, a toasted sandwich. A jaffle specifically isn't just like anything. It has to have like a filling. A good oil. I don't think I've heard anyone say that. Good on you, mate. Congratulatory. It could also be the opposite of congratulatory. Face fungus means beard. What? I've never heard that before. Obba means clothes. What? Avago your mug. What? Avago your mug. Cheering on a team player. What? Humdinger. Is that? I thought that was like American. But bodgy, broken or faulty. Would say more like dodgy or something like that. Joey is not slang. It's just the name, like the literal name for a baby kangaroo. Wow. Do you know famous Australians? We have to unscramble them. Nicole Kidman, Mel Gibson, Russell Crowe. No, I can't apparently. I don't know what these are. Oh my god, Nicole Kidman, Mel Gibson. Crocodile Dundee. Oh my god, I was thinking of names, not like job things. Men at Work. Okay, we're also doing bands. I was like, men is not the name of a person. Minnie Driver. That's where the V is from. Elle Macpherson and Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett's name is starts with a C. They got it wrong. No wonder I didn't get it. Her name starts with a C, not a K. Yep, jumper does mean sweater. Whinge does mean wine. Daggy dogs means embarrassing clothes. Awesome Aussies means cool Australians. What? I mean, awesome means awesome. Hot chocky means hot chocolate. Wow. And test your Olympic knowledge. You know what? They really tried with this website. What country was the Summer 2000 Olympics held? Australia. How many medals did the US win at the Olympics? Fuck if I know. I thought this was an Australian quiz. How many? 97. What's in the photo gallery? Oh, so they filmed the Texas and everything while in Australia. Click here for more. Oh, wow, they just... the maximum amount of pictures you could have on a page in 2000 apparently. Fashion. Oh, we can vote on favorite looks. Can I still vote? Are the dresses on there? Yeah, that's my favorite. Oh, okay. They didn't archive that URL. Bloopers, which would have been just in the credits. E-cards. Oh, look, now I'm in 2007. Wow. It's so 2000. Wow. I love this website. Just like I love this movie. It is absolutely ridiculous and I have many questions. But like, I just love all the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies. If you stuck around this far, leave me an Aussie flag in the comments. Oh, also, if there's any Americans still watching, Aussie means Australian, not Australia. You don't go to Aussie, you go to Australia and you meet Aussies there. I've been seeing people use Aussie to mean Australia, not Australians, and that's not right. But yeah, do you want to see more of these videos? There are many Mary-Kate and Ashley movies to watch. Very earliest as well, I haven't seen. Like, I've seen Full House, but I haven't seen like the To Grandmother's House We Go and like the witch movie that they did when they were really young. I've also met one of their love interests from Passport to Paris. He was at a convention earlier this year and I was working at my line was like next to his line, and while everyone else was going up to him for like all these other different things, went up to him at the end of the day and I was like, I loved Passport to Paris. So comment down below what movie you want to see me do next. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and here are some other videos you might like. Okay, now I gotta go eat some Vegemite.